everyone, welcome to Dallas, Texas. This is the shakedown cruise of the Thor Compass, the 24 kb. We are here today with the German Shepherd, the Corgi, and the lovely wife over here. So we'll tell you about what we like and dislike so far about the Ford part and the Thor part. I said it right, Ford, the chassis part, how the vehicle is, and the part made by Thor, the actual RV. So we'll get into it. Ooh, check that out. Hopefully you can see it. An A380. Oh man, that thing sounds wild coming in. So yeah, we're at a Army Corps of Engineer campground here at, just a little north of Dallas. We happen to be right in the flight path of Dallas Airport. Whew. Sorry guys, I was running to try to get you a view of that beast. Holy moly. Let's see if we zoom in. Starting here on this side of the coach, slide out makes something this small possible. Without the slide, this would just be entirely too tight. It is already tight, you know, the confines of a smaller vehicle, but the slide out works really nice. Not a fan of slides, but it makes it work. Table here is decent, little wiggly, gotta be careful about that, but all in all, not bad. Here in the shower, I don't know, not a fan of the doors. It just kind of gets in the way. So there's compromises you have to make when you have a smaller vehicle. One is the shower right here. We've been kind of struggling with this one. All like the base of the shower is not bad. Like the footprint of the shower, it's small but doable. The problem is when you have the shower curtain, it eats in and we keep grabbing it, and when you try to move it, you grab the shower curtain and it's... So what I'm thinking is, here we have a rail. I might be able to, I'll probably have to fix this cabinet, but I might be able to get like a custom made regular shower door like you'd find at home. Glass, maybe that would be one tiny little door, but maybe, I don't know, well, if it opened this way, but maybe I can try to find something a little better than this. But shower, bit tight. It's kind of a sore point right now. Bedroom area, no real problems except for right here, these covers for the shades that come down. They're so close to the bed, we both hit these, so I don't know, I'm not, might look to remove that. I don't know, they look pretty, but man, it's just not very practical. Other than that, everything is great. If you guys missed, this piece here will actually slide and lock into some rails here and make this a whole king bed if you want to. We have the TV. I put a Blu-ray right here. I did that because there's no HDMI cables in here, so I would have had to drill a big hole here to mount something into there. So to me, this was kind of like the cleanest way of doing it, and it doesn't get in the way of anything. Huh? Yeah. AC seems to be working really good. It's nice and cold. Anyhow, check out the 12-volt fridge, 5 degrees in the freezer, 35, and that's not even the coldest setting. I had to bump it down, but it's so nice to actually have a freezer that keeps stuff frozen. I had a 12-volt in the last RV that I installed after the fact, and it worked great. I'm glad that this one has it. It works really nice. We're still trying to learn to deal with like the kitchen here, deal with just getting everything set up and working with it. Just we had a little bit more space. And if you notice, we don't have the coffee maker here. The coffee maker is actually down here on the ground for the time being until we figure something else out. Now, they do have a bun coffee maker that would fit up here. If it's a single serve, it uses K-cups, or single serve, you can just put in grounds and it'll do it 1 cup at a time. That will fit here. Somebody isn't a fan of that idea for some reason. You know, we had the BM Pro screen that seems really cool, but what I'm worried about is, like, if this thing goes out, everything is wired to this. Yes, you do have the app, so just as long as the big computer that's back there underneath the bed works, we can still use the app. But I don't know, sometimes it's just more convenient just to have switches and be like kind of on and off really fast. Before we get into the forward part of the chassis, let's just talk about the rest of the actual parts by Thor. And really no complaints, anything here on the outside, except for this tankless hot water heater. Absolutely not a fan of it. I know some people chime in with ideas of what you're supposed to do. One of the major things that really aggravates me though with this thing, wow, like I said, we're right in the line of traffic for airport. I'm hooked up. We're hooked up, right? And every time I use hot water now, I have to burn up propane that I pay for, and it's loud. You should hear it inside. It's ungodly loud. I'm not a fan of it. I'm seriously gonna probably just put a tanked water heater, because that's what we had before and it worked great. If you guys don't know, there has to be a certain amount of water flow for the hot water to kick on, and that's just a lot of wasted water waiting for it to heat up, especially in the kitchen that's on the other side. So the water has to go here, across, through the other bed, and all the way down to the front. That's a lot of water to push out. And if you're boondocking, you know, you're just wasting water. It's going into your gray tank and it's coming out of your fresh tank. It's just not a very good, I don't like it. Where if I had a tanked heater, you can just trickle it on, it gets warm, and then you can go on your way. And it's just hasn't been working. But pass-through storage is great. Love all that. Backup camera's great. Love how much storage that we have in here. This is really going to help for going full time. Not a fan of gravity filled water. I just really don't like that this isn't secure. I did look, and yeah, I know there's locking caps, but it won't fit here. And see the way this thing fits around the stripes and stuff like that, that's going to be a problem. And that's one thing I don't get with, I guess everybody does, but man, Thor puts these damn things right here. So like the hot water heater, now I go replace the hot water heater, but the stripe is going to be right here. And I'm pretty sure I can't reuse that door. And then the way they got the air conditioning comes down, drips on everything. We had the awning out earlier, and when it was raining, rainwater was just pouring down the side of the RV. Kind of defeats the purpose, you know, of having an awning to protect you and keep you dry. If water's going to come here, now when this thing is retracted, you can see daylight through here, which right now when it's sucked in, you don't see. So I'm going to look when I get home. I'm going to pull the awning out and see if there's not a way I can fill that gap in with something so water doesn't run down here. I think it's kind of a dumb design. I'm not sure if the manufacturer screwed something up or if that's by design, but not really too happy with that. Oh man, look at these planes. Another big one. Oh, it's UPS. That's not quite sure which one. Who knows? Maybe there's an RC car in there for me. But yeah, I mean, other than that stuff, man, loving the RV. Now the Ford side of stuff, really have no complaints for the most part. We'll say these windows are kind of huge, so when I get home, it'll looking to put some tint on here because she was on the side that was in the shade. I was in the side that was getting sun beating on, and I was getting hot. She was cold, so we kept turning the AC back and forth. So I'm going to look to get some tint. These windows are absolutely huge, but that's not really kind of like a Ford issue per se. But it's just something that we're going to look to do on here. Um, my only, I'm not sure it's the only one, but I know one issue I have with this is on the Ford setup is that you can't see tire pressure when you're driving. For some reason, it's in some kind of crazy vehicle maintenance menu that you can only see when you're stopped. I don't like it, so I put the standalone tire pressure system I had from my other RV in here because I want to be able to see it and not have to navigate through menus all the time. I just want to be able to see it, have it up there, not hit. I don't know why Ford did that, why it's all hidden. Now this does have like a camera up here. It's supposed to be lane keep assist, stuff like that. It works. I don't think it was really designed for maybe the weight of something of an RV because it doesn't do the best job of trying to turn to keep you. So basically what it does, it senses like the lines in the road, and if it senses you going over, it turns the steering wheel. It also vibrates the steering wheel when you're getting close to the edge to alert you that you're getting too close. But as far as like turning the wheel, there's been several times I've tested it and it just kind of plows through you. I mean, you can see it kind of tries to turn, but I don't think it really knows that it has this much weight because it's, when they build it's just a cutaway chassis. So I think they set it up for a van, and when you have all this extra height and weight, it needs fine tuning to work properly. But other than that, you have collision avoidance. So this thing actually will hit the brakes, like if you're coming up on something. Now I know it does it on the cruise control. I'm not sure if it does it anywhere else. This is really cool that you have these cornering lights. So at night, when you turn, this comes on and lights up like the corner areas. Really nice, especially when you have a larger vehicle. True, no aftermarket nonsense, no blue idiotic stuff blinding anybody. Factory installed HID lights. Does a great job of lighting up the road. We also have the fog lights down here as well. I really like the polished wheels. Now EcoBoost all-wheel drive, that is where it's at. Man, this thing scoots. That's one nice thing with this that I didn't have with the Chevy, even though it's a 6-liter V8. Oh, look at that UPS, that's a DC-10. Woo! It's a 6-liter V8, and it would go, but it was a much larger, heavier vehicle. And this thing with the twin turbos, yeah, she rolls. And then you got the all-wheel drive. It's really nice. We had some torrential rains coming down here, and we were able to just go right through, no problem. And then also here, one of the reasons that we downsized to this is like today or yesterday in Dallas traffic. We were able to maneuver. If you've been through here, you know that there's a lot of construction going on. There's a lot of lanes doing this deal. The lanes are pretty narrow. If I would have had the larger RV, could I have driven it? Yes, absolutely, no problem. But it was easier. It was less stressful. It was a more enjoyable drive. In this, I felt like I was just in my car. I had no problem maneuvering this, taking some turns and stuff like that. The maneuverability, the drivability factor of this thing is just tremendous. The price you have to pay now is that we have less storage on the bottom. I had more outside storage, more cabinets and stuff on the inside. So we're working on this. Like I said, the way this kitchen counter is set up, you have the sink and then the stove, and there's really no place even big enough to try to put a coffee maker. I don't know what they were thinking. So it's a struggle. I really want that single cup one. She's not a fan of it. We'll see, because living with the coffee maker on the floor is not gonna work. I mean, I could just boil water, use a French, but that's a pain. That's a real pain too. But yeah. So shakedown cruise, it's been great. The wife drove for a couple hours on the way here. That's was amazing. That's something that we've never had happen before. She was way too afraid to drive the other RV. I love planes, man. If you guys don't know, I flew in the Army, Blackhawks. I was a warrant officer. So aviation's kind of in my thing. Yeah, it's cool. Sorry, I'm distracted. It is busy. It's a busy airspace, but yeah. She's never driven the RV before, so it was absolutely great. So I think some of the things we're going to need to work on to get this thing dialed in for us to go full time. I think the hot water heater's got to go. We just got to work on getting organized, getting things set up a little bit better. But all in all, very happy with it. I'm loving the Ford, and this is coming from a GM guy. I have nothing but GMs my whole life. I'm really happy with this EcoBoost. Now, I know I've heard people go on about the some of the valve train issues or something, or whatever it was, the cam phasers, something, camshafts. This is the Gen 2 3.5 EcoBoost. I think this is like the second year this motor's been out. So this hopefully and shouldn't have the problems of the first versions. So put that out there, that there is a second version of this motor that we do have that's in here. This is the Gen 2 3.5 twin turbo V6. If you guys missed it too, well, I guess I didn't put. There is an issue with these things with there's a coolant line that goes down. This is a water cooled intercooler. There's a line that runs in front of the radiator from top to bottom that will come loose and hit your air conditioning belt. I had that happen, so I've replaced it myself because the dealership wanted me to leave this for like 2 weeks. The Ford dealer, even though I made an appointment, they said, "Oh, we need you to leave it for 2 weeks for them to fix a $10 hose, $15 hose." It took me all of like 2 minutes to replace myself. I wasn't leaving my beautiful RV at a damn Ford dealer for 2 weeks when I had an appointment. So that's something that you need to be aware of, that when you have something like this, a motorhome, not all Ford dealers or Chevy, whoever it is, can fit these because they're heavier, they're taller, their lifts might not be able to handle it, the garage doors might not be able to handle it. So there's a lot more that goes into servicing these. So you can't just pop into any Ford dealer. They need to be like kind of like a commercial dealer. And even then, like I experienced in my hometown, frustration trying to get it serviced. Just a simple hose. I even asked them, said, "Can you just look at the hose, order the part, and I'll bring it in, bring it back when you get it in?" No, just leave it. I need a master tech. So guys, hey, guess what? L2W, or that's my other channel. Vetruski here is gets a Ford master tech because I replaced the hose. Oh man, guys, check this out. Let's just take a quick look at the campground before we wrap it up. The wife brought her tomato plants. If you guys haven't seen it, I have a video of why we're here in Texas, to look at flowers. So go ahead and check that. Wow, look at that thing. Whoa! But beautiful Army COE campground, Corps of Engineers. So we got a beautiful lake here. It's been nice. Got some ducks wandering around. There were some deer outside the RV earlier. We had some woodpeckers out here we're watching. There's a hawk that has a nest up there. What else? I don't know.
You done?
I am now. This is the Ruski part of the Vetruski.
Okay.
Guys, we appreciate the support. Please like, share, comment, help us grow this channel. Maybe we'll get this channel be bigger than the L2W channel. It's at over 12,000 right now. We greatly appreciate the support and hope you'll join us for more of our RV adventures across the U.S., Canada, and wherever we can go, and see more of these too.
Need to fix RV. Куда ты идешь, Дана?
All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Appreciate the support.
Dana.
See you next time.